for compliance and ethics.
Yes. Before we adjourn, I just wanted to make a brief statement because there has been a couple of references made. So there's a press article that was mentioned that may be read by some to contain inaccurate or misleading information. The facts are clear for anyone to see, and they're a matter of public record. And I would point specifically to the board meetings of September 26th and October 31st. Under the prior compliance officer who resigned on October 31st, we had a poorly functioning compliance department. Under the corporate integrity agreement, the chief compliance officer was required to be independent of the general counsel, and he was not. We also had poor legal guidance, internally and externally, relative to compliance, and we had poor reporting to the board. We had a general counsel who was acting outside the scope of her authority and what some might say improperly, which was appropriately questioned. We had a board that was not operating at an optimal level relative to compliance in the past, and a commissioner who was not contributing in a positive way and is no longer a commissioner. Under the corporate integrity agreement, there's also a specific scope of authority for the chief compliant, for the IRO, the Internal Review Organization, who is not an auditor. After just several months on the board, I suspected that compliance was not functioning as required or as ideally as it should, and I sought out the most qualified, respected assistance the board could obtain for an independent review and guidance directly to the Board of Commissioners. That entity presented directly to the board at its September 26th board meeting. At the next meeting, the chief compliance officer resigned, and the board hired a man of unparalleled experience and unquestioned integrity as our interim chief compliance officer. That person, Steve Foreman, did tremendous work that has been well documented to create a well-functioning compliance department, and we applaud him for his efforts, and we greatly appreciate all the work that he has done, which has been reported to this board numerous times, all again as a matter of public record and on video for anyone to see. The former IRO, on the other hand, had zero experience, had never done an IRO engagement before, and performed poorly. The IRO submitted reports late, causing the district to require extensions of our filing deadline with the federal monitor, was combative rather than cooperative, acted outside the scope of the IRO responsibilities, included incorrect information in its reports, charged excessively, and cost 10 times what an IRO should have charged. And that IRO was appropriately terminated and replaced with a qualified, experienced, appropriately priced IRO. At this point, this board and this organization has its house in order relative to compliance. And I'm very confident that we've done everything that's reasonably possible over the last 6 months to do what's necessary to ensure that we remain compliant, that we comply with the corporate integrity agreement, and we do everything necessary to promote compliance going forward. All of those things have been well documented. They've been presented at numerous board meetings, and again, they're plain for anyone to see. So I'm very proud of where this board has come, having been on it for only a year and a half. I know Vice Chairman Uri's been on a lot longer, and he's seen it for even longer. And when you look at where we were in the past and where we are today, we should all be tremendously proud of where we are and how we're moving forward. And I'm proud to be part of that effort, and I'm proud to stand there and state these facts to anyone who wants to hear them, because these are the facts and this is the truth, that we are moving forward as a well-functioning, compliant organization. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Chairman.